What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Cut the Crap. I'm your host, Christian, here with a special guest over here to my right, Whitney. I said it correctly? No.
No.
Oh, I messed it up. Whitney.
Tin
Whitney.
knee.
Knee. I'm going to get it. Whitney.
It's all good.
She is a young entrepreneur out of the 757 in Virginia, representing. Love your hoodie, by the way, HBCU, Norfolk State.
Yeah, absolutely. Behold, baby.
There we go. There we go. So we got her here today. She's going to share some of her insights, some of her story, and we're just going to jump right into it, guys. Unfortunately, our other co-host today had an emergency, guys, so I apologize. He wasn't able to make it today, but it's okay. The show must go on. So let's start off real quick. Basic, simple story. Can you share a story of how you started in your entrepreneurship? What got you going?
What got me going? Honestly, I started as an entrepreneur at 12.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not originally from Virginia. I'm from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So, I always wanted to learn how to draw, but I'm not the best, like, artistically I can draw. So my mom taught me how to do origami. And so, I learned how to do origami very, very well.
Mhm.
And I started making origami flowers and boxes and stuff like that. So I took my origami flowers and I started making bouquets out of them. And I went to a couple of craft stores and got like the green sticks that you use for floral to make like actual like real bouquets. So I started making bouquets and start selling my bouquets for Mother's Day. In Chicago, Sweetest Day is a big deal. Valentine's Day is big, but like Sweetest Day is like was the thing,
Mm.
So Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day, Mother's Day, things like that. I would sell my bouquets of flowers. And then if somebody liked somebody or if somebody wanted to give somebody a gift, um, and I actually sold those from the time I was 12 till I was 18, actually.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
like I would have my own order forms. People would ask for different colors, different flower styles. I would make roses, irises, lilies. I mean, just different ones. And then as I got better, I used to actually started getting like different fragrant oils that I would kind of spray on them a little bit so they can have like a floral scent. So that was like my first for real business. I started at 12, honestly.
Nice.
Um, and that was I know that's like out of the box, but I've always loved business. I've always worked for myself to a certain degree. I have had other, real jobs, but not for long. I've always been the type of person kind of worked for myself. I always had like I guess what they call a hustle.
Yeah. The hustle
And my
flow.
hustle seemed to always take on a a bigger thing. Like I never had expected to do what I did, even when it came down to the origami thing. I started making ornaments and just different things, and I made some like actual like real money off of that. And then when I became 18, I learned how to do LLCs. I started learning how to do corporation and contracts and documentation like that. I just kind of studied. I went to Norfolk State, but I used to stay at Regent University and their law library and just kind of study different things in corporate law and corporation law, understanding that. And I had my first corporation at 18.
Nice. That is awesome. What do you think inspired you at that early age to wanna to be an entrepreneur like that? What was that drive in you to make you want to do it? 'Cause a lot of people don't have that. I got a kid that's 12 years old right now, and he never wants to do anything. I'm like, come on, do something. So like, what is that
Yeah, I got a
drive?
13-year-old. He doesn't do nothing. He doesn't do either.
Yeah, it's like
Well, I take that back. My 13-year-old always tells me that the things that he wants to do, but he ain't doing none of that shit.
exactly. Mine's the same way. It's like, all right, well, let's go. You want to set up a lemonade stand? Let's do it, and never happens. So
Never
what?
happens. My son wants to build computers, and I'm like, but he wants me to buy all the components. I'm like, bro, that ain't how that works.
Exactly.
I think I might just have it innately in me, honestly. I
Okay.
don't really know. I can't really tell you it's that one thing or another. Well, my mom, I take that back. My mom had a perfumes and pantyhose business back in the day, all right?
Wow.
So, she was a teacher and then she became a
Mhm,
principal, but she always had this, like, little side hustle of perfumes and pantyhose, right? And so she would go out and when, this is the '80s and the '90s, so, like, women wore pantyhose, you know what I mean? So they didn't have time to go get their own stuff. So she would take orders and she would go and buy things and on wholesale and whatever perfumes and scents or whatever that they liked. She would package everything up and she would deliver it to them. And then if you go back to some of the Bulls games back in the early, well, I'm not early, but in the late '80s,
mhm.
and if you see some of those red and white pom-poms, those were my mom's.
Oh,
I
wow,
actually helped roll
nice.
some of those. So like the late '80s to like the early '90s, she got a peddler's license. And we would be out there before the games. We would go to the games too, but we would be out there before the games and she would sell her red and white pom-poms for the Bulls games and we would hand they were hand rolled. She would go and buy like these big sheets of paper, of red and white paper, and they would be kind of cut in slits, and we would roll them with the plastic sticks, and we would have to like tie them onto the stick so that you can
Yeah,
pom poms, whatever. So and she would sell them right outside of well when it became the United Center, like in the later part of the '90s, but before it was even the United Center. And so that was kind of cool. So when I watched some of the old footage of some of the basketball games in the late '80s to the early '90s, and you see some of those pom poms, those were my mom's.
wow, that's awesome.
I watching her, I guess, doing certain things for herself, and then she had friends who had their own submarine shops. And being a kid of the '80s and '90s in on the west side of Chicago, to even we lived in the suburbs, we would always stay close to the west side. Um, Everybody in those areas in that neighborhood, like people own laundry, her friends own laundromats or submarine shops, and you saw the person who had their own barber shops or beauty shops and things like that. They all looked like me,
Mhm.
you know? So I always saw people that looked like me own things. Now, of course, when we went to other places, I saw people that have other cultures that had other stores and things of that nature. But the people that were in our neighbor, in my grandparents' neighborhoods and things of that nature, until there was an influx of others that came through. But in the first parts of it, the folks that owned the laundromats and the submarine shops and the corner stores all looked like me. So I always felt like I could do that too.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's
So that's why I
awesome.
always tell people representation does flip and matter, yeah.
It does. It does. It really does. Um, just keep going, diving into that. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure you and your mom have faced a lot of challenges in the late '80s, early '90s, doing all that. When you got older and you started getting more into your entrepreneurship, what challenges have you faced in your entrepreneurship journey, and how did you overcome those challenges?
The challenges that I face and have faced up until like honestly recently is that people are dishonest. You have to really decipher who's for you and who's against you. Jealousy is a real motherfucking thing, man. Everybody's not for you. Um, I had to learn that the hard way. I'm like, hey, I'm with everybody, let's be friends. And that's me.
I'm the same way.
And I had to realize that everybody don't want to be my friend, and there's a lot of people who despise me and look me in my face and just want to be exactly where I'm at and don't want to do what I did to get there. They rather steal from me, hurt me, lie to me, step on me to get where I'm at. And I had to realize that everybody is not good. And I know that's like duh, we know everybody's not good. But I had to realize the people that are in my circle were really meaning for my harm, or that people that were coming to me there really are snakes in a garden, and you got to really have to decipher who are really snakes in the garden. And I was kind of, I have a heart for the people, for real, for real. I want to see everybody do well, and just because you want to see everybody do well, everybody don't want to. see you do well. So you gotta really just make sure that you have a really good system of people around you, and that's close knit and shut up. Like I had to learn how to shut up, man, because I was very I always say I'm very transparent and I still transparent, but I had to realize who to be transparent in front of. You can't tell everybody what you're doing in your next move, and even if you think that person is for you. So I've learned to not tell anybody anything like what's going on. Like even right now, I've got some things that are on the works. I'm not telling anybody anything unless you are part of that puzzle. If you're not a part of that puzzle, I'm not telling you a thing. Now, as a black female, a gay black female, a lot of people ask me about that adversities of being a gay black female. Have you had any type of racism or things of that nature? And I probably have, but I am so bold. I will call it all the way out in the mother board. Like I'm that person. I'm the person that goes, if I had a dick and if I was white, you would not say that to me. That's the person that I am. I am that bold. So they look at me like, oh snap, we better give it to her because she's crazy. So I don't really I haven't had that happen to me in the business world because they look at me like, "Yo, we gotta give this one that this stuff because this one is she's gonna tell. Yeah, 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 she's gonna," or or they'll look at me and laugh with and go, "Oh, come on, Wit, yeah, Wit, that you're so funny," and I'm like, "I'm not laughing. I know what y'all thinking at the end of the day, but I don't pretend that I don't know that it's going to happen. So before I allow you to think that it's going to happen, I'm going to address the elephant in the room so I don't allow it to happen. And I know that's probably people are like, how do you not let that happen? But honestly, it hasn't happened to me. I've been discriminated against getting a mortgage, but not in business. And hit I've gone to do some businesses that most black people don't do. Like I'm the
Mhm.
first black female brewer manufacturer in the United States, and so that was a big thing and they did all this press about it and stuff of that nature because I've like isn't we in this space? Why aren't we in the beer space? We're in the wine space, but no one wants to be in the beer space. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go to that space. I'm going to go to the spaces that you don't think I'm supposed to be in. Oh, I'm not supposed to be in the bourbon space. Oh, okay, cool. Because 'cause I'm black, I'm a female, and there's only one black guy that y'all allowed to be that space because y'all stole his stuff, and now 100 and 200 years later, y'all wanna give his family okay, well, Imma be in that space too, and Imma tell you about that, So, I haven't been discriminated, against in that aspect of things. So, my biggest, thing in reference to business is watching my circle. Watch your circle.
You just gave me goosebumps. I'm telling you. And you took one of the questions I had for you right out. So that's perfect. You got into that. Talking about your circle, that's a big issue. A lot of people have weeding out the snakes and all that. I know I had to do that with mine, and my circle now is down to like on two hands of people I could trust and I talk to, and that's it. How did you weed out those snakes in your garden and figure out who's actually there? Because you got a good point. People want to see your downfall when they try to smile in your face, but they really want to see you do bad. How did you weed those people out?
Actually, I had to almost fall all the way. I had to, like, almost lose everything, honestly, before I really saw it. My wife saw it, my mama saw it, everybody saw it, good friends saw it. People were seeing it, and I was hard-headed because I was like, "No, I can save the world. Look at me." I had this S on my chest, and I thought God wanted me I have a big faith in God, and I felt like, "Okay, I'm supposed to do this. You're giving me all these blessings to do a particular thing, and I'm supposed to use these blessings to bless others and do what I'm supposed to do." But I continue to have the same situations hit me, and I had to realize that it was me and not the people that was coming to me. I had e I will never so let me segue a little. I will never blame a woman who's being hit. So don't nobody come for me when I say what I'm about to say. But I think about it like this. If every person that you have been with keeps beating you, then the thing is, what are putting out? What are you doing to put out something out into the world for these type of people to magnetize to you? Because as people, we are a tuning fork. Okay. So if we're tuning fork, that means whatever we're putting out there, whatever we're resonating out there, people are going to gravitate to us. So if I keep getting smacked in the head by a person or by this person, and then the next person is beating me, and then the next person is beating me, and then that means I am putting something out there in the world that is telling this type of person that it is to seek me out. You get what I'm saying? Now, it's never okay for a person to be that way. That's disgusting, it's horrible, and everything of that nature, and that person should not exist in that nature. But on the flip side of it, why am I putting something out there for them to seek me out? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Right. So I had to figure out I can't sit here and keep crying about the same I'm in the same situation over and over again. So I had to figure out like, yo, what am I putting out to keep this same type like the same devil, different face? Same devil, different clothes? Like I got to figure out like why what am I putting out there that I keep getting running into the same types of people? And then I had to realize, yo, Wit, it's you that you're giving out this neediness like you are of oh I that they just keep coming in and keep coming in, and you're not cutting these type of people off at the knee. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize that first, number one, I needed to start listening to the people that really loved me. And when they said they're not trying to just tell me what to do. I'm a big like, you don't tell me what to do. I got this, you know. But but I had to listen to the people that was trying to say, hey, no, 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 no. This person that is coming to your way, that you think is all good, like, "Yo, no, no, this person is not a good person," and I have to I'm listening to that now, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So, I literally, people had tried like, people try to kill me, bro, like, take me out,
Damn.
like, take everything from me, take me out, and it's crazy because I don't understand how people can sleep at night, you know what I mean? Knowing that they're, like, literally lying, like, you know
Mhm.
you've given your all, you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, and then when they have no more use for you, they just throw you away.
Man, that's crazy. Whew.
It is, but that's life, but you don't have to be a part of that anymore. You know, I tell people, you don't have to have those type of people in your life. You're gonna have to have people around you that you can trust and that can some if you can't see it, that people around you that can see it so that you can cut those types of people off at the knees, man.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. We're going to take a quick break here and we're going to jump into our brain teaser, kind of switch it up a little bit, get you going. First brain teaser question. Oh, and by the way, you only get 15 seconds to answer these.
Oh, snap. Okay.
So they bullet rounds. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. What is your hidden talent?
I can sew.
You can sew. Oh, not a lot of people could do that. That's a lost art. That's a lost art. Okay. Um, what is the bravest thing you've ever done?
I saved my son when he drowned.
Awesome. Awesome. What's your favorite hobby?
Reading.
Not a problem. That's awesome. Reading is good. My daughter does a lot of reading. And do you, last but not least, do you collect anything? Are you a collector?
Shoes.
Shoes? Hey, listen, it's funny. Quick change of subject on this. On shoes, I am the type of person that I don't get people that collect shoes. I have two pairs of shoes, one work shoes and one going out shoes. And I don't buy new shoes until I walk a hole in them. And I see
Dog,
people
I
with
have
like 50
400 pairs
shoes,
of
and I'm
shoes.
like, how do you choose which one you're gonna wear? I lose my mind. I lose my mind.
I have I have 400.
400?
Yeah, I have 400 pairs of
How
shoes,
do you
and
pick
I'm
which?
not even being like
How do you pick which one you're gonna wear? You
because
got one for every day of the
some of
year.
my you don't I said you said collect, bro,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
so
don't
you don't
wear
even wear
all of
them.
them.
Oh
No.
man.
some shoes I haven't worn in years, and then I'll go back and go, "Oh, I haven't worn these in a couple of years. Let me go ahead and let me
Man,
bust these out." Like, I haven't worn any of my foams in maybe, like, a year or 2, so, like, now I'm like, this winter, I'm about to start wearing some of my foams.
that's awesome. But that's awesome you do that. I mean, a lot of people, I know a lot of people do that too, and it's a very popular. And man, some of these shoe prices, I know they had a shoe con down here in Tampa, and some of these shoes, I went up there and they were selling for like 350, 400. I'm like, for a pair of shoes? Like yeah, so
Dude, if I told you how much my most expensive pair of shoes cost, you would
uh,
probably flip your shit.
I don't even want, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. That's probably wait, now, dude, is it well, how about this? Is it more than 1,000?
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Man, I need to get into the shoe game, I guess. Jesus. All
Yeah,
right.
because I don't wear just, like, Nike, Adidas.
Mm,
I don't wear just tennis shoes. I also do the higher ends too,
nice.
and I also go out of the country to buy shoes.
Okay. Oh, okay. You exotic then. You get those
Yeah,
the
like,
shoes
I
that
like
people
when I
can't
feel
get.
like shoes, it's not just sneakers, man. I like shoes, yeah.
You like them all. Okay. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. Well, jumping back into things now. Um, growing up, I'm sure you had a lot of mentors and all that, but are there any mentors or role models who have influenced your approach in business that have stuck with you to this day?
Okay. Well, yes, I'm gonna say this though. Oh, I'm gonna emphasize old.
Okay.
Old Master P.
Oh, okay.
Not
Not the bowdy days. Older than that.
no, that's what I'm saying. Bout it,
Oh, that
make
one.
you
Okay.
say, "Ah,
Oh,
Master
yep.
P."
Okay. Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
What about him as a mentor or role model help influence you?
It was the it was the smart grind that he did from the beginning. He took the inheritance. See, that's why it's so important. He took the inheritance that his grandfather gave him to build his empire. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He took that money that his grandfather gave him and invested in himself. Oh my god, like I all just gave my own self like that is instead of going to buy, uh, whatever was popular at that particular moment and, to go look cool or to whatever, he took the money that his grandfather left him and invested in himself and put them CDs in the trunk of his car. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's how he built his empire. And that is why I respect I'm not saying, the new age Master P, I got some, whatever, whatever. But old Master P, like in that mentality, I think that's what a lot of people have to kind of go with. Like he got a sum of money and didn't just go, I'm gonna go pop bottles with my bros. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go and just bought the newest kicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He went and took that money and he invested in himself and not only did he invest in himself, he invested in his people. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just invest in himself. He invested in everybody else that was on No Limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he didn't just take himself up. He took everybody with him. His brothers and his friends. He got took everybody to the studio. He got everybody's CDs done. You get what I'm saying? He put everybody's stuff in the trunk and he made it work. And because of that, he made a whole bunch of people millionaires. And that's the come up. And that's what I respect.
Nice. Nice. Now, he's had a lot of success just like you. You've had a lot of success going up. Can you share a significant success or milestone in your business that you're most proud of?
Uh, Um, think the day, oof, hmm,
Dumped you
there's
there.
been so many different. I think the first time I bought my first like building, like for one of like my first building. It wasn't like when we got our first like office space because that was still somebody else's building, but like my first building closed on my company's building. And it was 2 acres of land, 10,000 square feet. Um, and it was my company's building. That was crazy. Like, what? And then since then, it was just like, you know, I continued to, what I'm saying, to do so. And right after I did that, uh, held like a class seminar to teach other people how to do it too. Because I jumped out from fear because I've had all this money and been had money. I've been had the money, but I was still, and I had my owned my own home and things of that nature. And I had already set up a trust for the kids, but I was scared to do anything else. But they're like, "Oh no, it's time for you to buy your own buildings." And I didn't like, "Oh, I can do that now," And they're like, "No, you could have been did that." And it was the buying my first like commercial building. That was like that was crazy for me.
Oh man, that sounds like an amazing accomplishment. So I'll tell you what, you make me feel better in doing what I'm doing and knowing that I'm taking the right steps and like I your words are encouraging me to keep going forward. Like you're giving me goosebumps as we're talking, and everything you've done is such an amazing accomplishment. I'm so proud of you. I love to see Black African American women succeed. My wife is African American. My kids are half Hispanic and African American, and I tell them all the time, succeed because a lot of people don't want to see you guys succeed, especially people of color. They want to see you fall, and for you to do that and buy your own building, like that's amazing. That is, I'm so proud of you on that one. That is so amazing. Um, Going forward, how with buying your building and all the businesses that you own, how do you handle a work-life balance and maintain your well-being while running your businesses?
Honestly, at the beginning, I didn't. I sucked at it, man. Like, I used to pride myself because I have never missed a thing that my kids were in. Like, I was at everything, and I was like, "I was at everything." But was I really there? Because even though I was at everything, I was on the phone, I was doing an email, you know what I mean? I was distracted, even though I was quote unquote there. So, I've changed a lot since since then, and I've realized that um, business can wait, bruh. Like we when we went to Paris and we stayed in Paris for a while, I realized that the Parisians got it right. Um, they don't that their work-life balance is totally different than America. They like, "You guys are so focused on money, 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 and this, that, and work, 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 that you guys don't ever relax." They don't look at life the way that we look at life, man. And so I've changed the way that I've kind of work and look at life. Yeah, people can wait. They work business can wait.
Mm-hmm.
It can literally wait because now my family, my kids, my wife, my parents, everybody, um, that stuff can wait. Uh, I lost my stepmother, and she was a very big, intricate part of my life, like a huge, intricate part of my life. And I just lost her not too long ago, like a couple of days after Thanksgiving, and that totally, it was sudden. That was nothing that we were. I mean, it almost like totally crushed my whole entire family because it was just I didn't even know how I was gonna get through, truthfully. And it's been a whole year now. And what it taught me is that nothing matters other than my family for real. And so business is fun, money is fun, all that stuff is fun, and fine. But I realized I only reason why I was doing it is so that my family could be okay. And my family is not gonna be okay if I'm not here. So being here is the most important thing um, for my family. So my life balance has totally changed. I've totally slowed down. I've actually closed a few of my businesses um, because they just didn't. It was they were killing me. It was just there were no need for them anymore. Um, and I just was just keeping them just for the money, and my whole mental state and everything else was just going down. So I was like, yo, they gotta go. It's either me or the business, and I chose me and my family. So uh it can be very difficult because when you're first starting a business or trying to do anything entrepreneurial, you're like, oh, I gotta grind, I gotta grind, I gotta grind. But I would tell anybody, choose your family first. Choose family first. Put yourself on a schedule, adhere to the schedule, and don't allow the business to overtake your whole entire life.
Awesome. Awesome. And that kind of went segue into my next question for you. I actually had is, what advice would you give to young, inspiring entrepreneurs?
Actually, advice I would give young entrepreneurs is everyone is going to think you're crazy, and that's okay. Jump anyway. What makes it I'm gonna say success. Let's not even talk about entrepreneurship, man, because I don't preach entrepreneurship because that ain't for everybody. Everybody can't be Michael Jordan. I tell that to everybody. Everybody can't build a business, man. I believe that entrepreneurs are just like NFL players or NBA players. Everybody can't be an NFL or NBA player. So everybody can't be an entrepreneur. So I'm not going to tell everybody not to or everybody to be a business owner. I just think that's impossible. It is honestly impossible. It's not for everybody. But I do believe that success is for everybody. Whatever success means to you. And people say, "Well, do you have the keys to success? Do you know the whole key to success?" And I say, "Yes, I know exactly how to be successful. It's very simple. Don't stop. I've had everything, every type of adversity that can happen to you has happened. And the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is an unsuccessful person stops. A successful person continues on. We're the crazy people. As we're getting punched in the face, as we're getting knocked over, as we're getting stabbed and whatever, we continue to advance. As I'm crying on the side of my bed when things didn't go the way that desired it to go, I'm crying, literally crying, asking God, "Oh, my brain is still going into okay, the pivot." I might be crying, but I'm also thinking about the pivot. I'm not saying don't feel, but you gotta think about the pivot because that doesn't mean I stop. I cry and move. As I'm getting smacked, as I'm getting hit, I'm still moving. You just gotta still move. That's the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful. The unsuccessful, as soon as they get hit, they stop and then they don't do anything. The successful still getting hit upside the head and then they keep moving.
Hmm.
That's it.
Very powerful words. And for you listeners, hope you guys taking that in. That is amazing, amazing information to give. Let's talk about your businesses. You have multiple businesses. Can you name a couple business or name your business? Just name them all. This is your plug-in. We want to promote your businesses today. What you got going?
All right, so I have a business that has my namesake, Whitney Lynn and Associates, WLA. Whitney Lynn and Associates is a consulting firm. I actually help business owners reach to new heights. I am an actual therapist, and I've worked into the mental health field for the last 20 years. And because of that, I have came up with a trademarked a assessment called the Seven Core Analytics. So I can actually come into somebody's business and assess it and give quantitative and qualitative measurements to change their bottom line and um, come in and change their bottom line with taking their bottom line and giving them at least 10 to 15% increase in their revenue and in their productivity within their own employees in which they have, or changing certain dynamics. We also do lobbyist work. We do patent work, copyright, starting businesses from start to finish, manufacturing. We are in the trucking industry, healthcare industry, cosmetic, beauty, hair care, um, and I said healthcare, right? And healthcare industries, those are the restaurant, brewery, and the liquor industry. Those are the 8 industries in which WLA do consult for. Um, I have been in WLA technically is a brand new business, but I used to own a company called Flow Consulting, which would have been a 15 years old as of this year. I just changed the name to Flow from Flow Consulting to my namesake of WLA. So technically, I've been consulting for the last, my consulting company has been open for the last 15 years. So we have a lot of different clients that are doing a lot of different things. Like one of my clients right now, we're selling her patent product to the cosmetic industry. I have another person that's selling her patent product to the hair care industry, and then I have someone else who we're working with a couple of chemists because they came up with a solution for insect repellent, and just making sure that they meet federal guidelines for for certain things. So that's what WLA Consultants does, and that's what I'm actively um, doing. And we are also working with someone who's coming out with a book and TV show for children as well. So that's with WLA. I also own I'm a restaurateur. My wife and I own Birds and Bourbon. It is a upscale, we call it an upscale chicken joint, but we do it more than just chicken. We do chicken, turkey, and duck. We have a duck fried rice that is banging.
Oh, I'm
We just
getting
closed one of
hungry.
our locations, and we're going to be opening up another location, and we're also going to be opening up a couple locations around the United States. We have 2 more locations opening up in 2 different states. We'll be talking about that really, really soon, and we're going to be opening up our distillery with Birds and Bourbon. So we're gonna have our own bourbon line with that. I also own 1865 Brewery, um, and I will be actually doing a whole entire with 1865. What we're with the brewery, the manufacturing, what I'm going to be doing with that because I just finished the trademark for that. I'm going to actually buy a warehouse and do our own hops manufacturing and beer manufacturing right there. So I'm going to take 1865 and just make it just, it's going to be a whole entire beer line that we're going to be coming to a grocery store near you. Um, I also own a healthcare company called Synergy Health Systems. And I going to be doing some big things with that and working with pharmaceuticals with Synergy. And I own a company called Camp Loud, which is a therapeutic treatment center for children. I um oh, what is it? Creek Manor, which is a mental health facility for children out in Gloucester. That's the 2 acres of land, and I think that's it.
Man,
I think
you
that's it.
dabble in everything, and I love it. I love it, man. Especially the food, by the way. I can't wait. Next time I'm in
Yeah,
Virginia,
I'm a little mini chef. Like I
listen,
actually cook at Birds and Bourbon myself.
nice. Next time I'm in Virginia, I'm gonna tell PJ to let you know we coming through. We're gonna order. I gotta have the duck. I gotta have the duck.
Got yo. Actually, you know what? Next time you come to Virginia, I'm gonna actually have you come to the crib. I'm gonna make it for you
Oh,
at the house.
I feel honored. That is amazing.
Shit.
Thank you so much. Now, for the listeners that are listening, they all, we have listeners all around the world, all around the states. Do you do the consulting for outside of Virginia as well?
Absolutely. Most of my clients, actually, the ones that I was just talking about, are in Chicago, Colorado, Maryland. I I have clients in Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana. So for my healthcare company, I'm nationally accredited. I've worked in 30 different states
Okay.
for our healthcare company. But yeah, we don't work primarily in Virginia. I mean, a lot of my clients, of course, comes from Virginia, but the majority of our clients actually are outside of Virginia.
Okay.
And you can just go to whitneyassociates.com, WHITTENEY associates.com. And I am actually one of the lead consultants, so you could get me. I work on some of the bigger projects, like the ones that I'm talking to you about right now are like our really big projects. So I'm actually working on those myself as the lead consultant. Um, so yeah, it's something you can actually get me.
Perfect. So you listeners out there, you go and visit her website, get that consulting going. As you hear, she's everywhere. She'll gonna take good care of you and make sure, you know, you guys get right for your business or whatever you need in your business world. She's the person you want to speak to. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking a moment out of your day to speak with us. This has been a great interview. You've inspired me. I know you inspired our listeners so much. Thank you again for being on our episode.
I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Of course, of course. And for you listeners out there, please let us know what you think. You know how to reach us. You can send us an email at cutthecrap with 2 P's, 1 at gmail.com. So that's going to be CUTTHECRAPP1 at gmail.com. You can also send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or Discord. You know how to reach us. You do it all the time. We'll love to hear from you guys. Till next time, I hope everyone has a great, safe rest of your week. Have a good one. Peace.